We are pleased to be joined once again by Dr. John Hajjar, founder, chairman, and CEO, Sovereign Health System, and Dr. Rodney Jarnett, who is head of school, Dwight-Englewood School. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a great story we have to tell here. This gentleman had 3 sons go to your school.
Yes.
2 twin boys and another young man.
All right.
They had a great experience at his school, and you decided to do what?
Decided that I wanted to contribute, I wanted to give back to the school that had given tremendous education to my boys, and I was on the board of trustees, and we wanted to build something that was everlasting in the school, and they were always talking about a STEM building. So
A STEM building, science, technology,
science,
engineering, math.
That's correct. So Rodney approached me with the concept, and I knew about the concept prior to that, and one thing led to the other. With his leadership and his vision, we decided to put the program together, and that took us about over a period of 2 years to start getting people involved and put the architectural designs together, and turned out to be a wonderful building.
And it is the Hajjar STEM Center. Describe it as we show some pictures. It's extraordinary. Go ahead.
Well, it's extraordinary because it's very unlike anything that you'll see anywhere else. We went all over the world, all over the country, looking at the best designs and the most recently built science STEM facilities. We wanted to create a facility where STEM education could really be integrated, not only within the curriculum, but between the curriculum. So,
by the way, I'm looking at pictures. Go ahead. Keep talking.
It is a while. Basically, where we could allow math, science, technology, engineering, and math to really blend together. So we've created a science lab that is very unlike anyone else, where the emphasis is on doing science, not listening to science. Children really do it. The mathematics classes have no front of the room. There's no place where the teacher leads the class. It's the students learning. It's all about doing. We developed some really strong tenets for the building, and one is that you learn by doing, so the classrooms are really reflective of the students are going to learn by doing what they do and not listening. We did fun things like we took the engineering classes, and instead of putting them in a room where people wouldn't see it, we put the equipment in the labs, but the kids have to go outside. They're in the open spaces. So students walk by and seeing the robotics and the engineering projects being built. And actually, I've kidded John about this, but the first week it opened, we had students walk by and look at the engineering classes because they were out in the open, and within the first week, their enrollment tripled.
They saw it.
They saw it, and it tripled.
Yeah. Charles, let me ask you, we've had conversations offline, and your passion for science and technology, for research is so clear.
Yes.
What is this like for you?
This is incredible. This is something that I've never imagined it could happen. And you know, as a scientist, and as I knew that science and mathematics are intertwined together, and this is a perfect forum to study all these fields together and how they interact. And I'm hoping that the next student that comes out from here will be the Steve Jobs of the future.
You see that?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I see that. There's no doubt about it, because it is such an incredible curriculum and incredible program that Rodney put together. And the STEM building is just a perfect medium for the student to.
But you said, sorry for interrupting, you said this right before we got on the air. I said, well, you know, other places like this in the country, and you said, not in the world.
That's correct.
Not in the world, Doctor.
No. I think one of the things we benefited from, most of the science buildings in the United States sort of came to end of life at the same time, because after Sputnik went up, there was a huge building program in the United States, so everybody built science programs about the same time. They all came to end of life in the 90s. Most schools replaced them in the 90s, colleges and universities, and we benefited by actually waiting a little longer and really learning more about the way science, math, engineering, technology can be blended together. So we benefited by building something after we learned from all the lessons other people had learned.
The walls that you can write on, talk about that.
Well, one of the tenets we had in the building, one of the second tenets is that learning happens everywhere.
We're looking at that as well.
And it's a little bit like adults when they go to conferences. Sometimes the best thing about the conferences are the conversations that happen between the meetings.
Right.
And this actually came from the MIT Stata building up in Boston. We realized that they had done a really wonderful job of making the spaces outside the classrooms as valuable as the spaces inside the classroom. And we realized that we wanted the outside. We didn't want any hallways. The building has no hallways. Hallways are wasted spaces. We wanted the spaces outside of the classroom to be as important as the spaces inside the classrooms. And the walls the students write on, they're in the hallways, they step outside of a classroom, continue the discussion, and you can go into the building at any time and see formulas and problem-solving techniques on the walls and see the work that's happening.
And what kind of teachers does it take to be able to do this? Or is it the same teachers being trained in different ways?
Well, I think the same teachers, but they're being trained. I mean, we've always had quality teachers at school. Now they have to train themselves a little bit differently. So because it's an integrated model, you know, you're integrating a lot of the fields together, and these teachers have been able to step up to the plate.
And I think one of when we built the building, we wanted the building to push us, to actually change us, which is challenging for an architect to do, and the architects, the Gensler firm, actually did a wonderful job of that. So for instance, all of our STEM faculty are in the same office. We don't have math and science, they're all together, and we purposely made the office a little too small so that would force the faculty out to be out in the open working with the students. Forced interaction. And the integration, like we don't teach in our school, for instance, a bio and a chem course. We teach an integrated biochemistry because we don't believe you can learn one without the other. In mathematics, we don't teach an algebra, a geometry. We take advanced algebra, advanced geometry, probability, data analysis, and statistics and integrate it over 2 years.
Wow. Doctor, do this for us. We happen to know the Sovereign Health System as a supporter of public broadcasting. But for those who do not know, describe what you guys are and why the organization would be interested in this as well.
Well, Sovereign Health System, as you know, it's a healthcare integrated organization that has a lot of the ancillary services to provide healthcare to the community, especially in Bergen County. Because
where this school is.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the school is located in an area where we have several offices. We have about 5 different office sites around the school itself. As a matter of fact, many of the parents who send their kids to the school are my physicians. So we believe in science, Sovereign Health System. You know, we believe in the mathematics, and we want the children of our physicians to go to a community, to go to a school that has quality education.
Before I let you out of here, a minute left. Do you see other people around the country, other leaders, educational leaders, innovators, saying, we want this?
We have been
wanting it's one thing, making it happen is another.
The facility has been in use for a little over a year, about a year and a couple weeks, and we have been visited by schools and colleges all around the country, and even from other countries have visited the program. People are very, very impressed. They're trying to take some of the lessons that we learned, and I think, you know, to learn you have to take a risk. You can't learn without taking a risk. An entrepreneurial allowed us to take a risk and create a building that is very much on the edge.
And you're making a difference in the lives of so many young people who are going to make a difference in the lives of others later. Doctor, I cannot thank you enough. We appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Great.
See you next time.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by Adler Aphasia Center, Wells Fargo, Seton Hall University, PSE&G, New Jersey Sharing Network, NJM, and by Josh S. Weston. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by Commerce Magazine. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus, New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.